Now the second part of this question gives us information about a specific bucket. It tells us a ratio between the small radius and the large radius. That the small radius is 0.8 times the large radius, and that large radius is what we need to calculate. It also tells us the total volume is 10,000 cubic centimetres, that's a 10 litre bucket, and it tells us that the height of the bucket is 11 centimetres. Now we need to be working in centimetres all the way through, so that all looks fine, all the units are the same. So now we need to put this information into our equation. So the equation was that the volume is pi over 3 times the height times r squared plus big R little r plus little r squared. We need to substitute into this for all those other things. So 10,000 is equal to pi over 3 times 11 times r squared plus r times 0.8 r plus 0.8 r squared. So I've substituted in there for little r here and here. I have to be careful to put brackets around it because I want to square 0.8 big R. So this is pi over 3 times 11, lots of r squared, plus 0.8 r squared, plus 0.64 r squared. That's equal to 11 pi over 3 times 2.44 r squared. Now I need to divide both sides by 2.44 and by 11 pi over 3. So r squared is equal to 10,000 divided by 11 pi over 3 times 2.44. So r is equal to the square root of all of that. I'm not going to calculate it just yet. I'm just going to write down what it equals and I'm going to put that in my calculator. Technically I'd get two answers from my calculator, but I only need one of them because the negative value, if I had a plus or minus in here, I don't want a negative radius, so I'm going to ignore the negative radius. And this gives me a radius of 32.3 centimetres. If we wanted to check that to make sure we had the right answer, we could substitute that back into the original equation. Find little r, it's 0.8 times that, and substitute all of that back into this original equation and check that pi over 3 times 11 times this r value times big R times little r plus the little r value squared, that all gives us the 10,000 that we need.